What's up, world? What's up, world? It's your boy Sway. I'm not Sway, but whatever. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's see what we got going on. What's up? Hey, hey, hey. Am I gonna go live together? What? Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, so usually I'm in a different attire, but had to go work out some. You're always live when I'm cooking. Well, so okay. Well, maybe I'll just be your entertainment, Nurse Nelly, for the fact that you're cooking. I'm going to entertain you with nursing, NCLEX, and essentially anything that anybody wants to ask me. So there's a really big lag. Maybe my internet is trash, or maybe yours is trash. Maybe we should figure that out. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey. Can you talk about being on call as a nurse? Do you have to go? Do I have to go in? Yeah, you do have to go in. Hey, slushy VR. I love you, kiddo. But what's up, Ida? Can you talk about being on call as a nurse? Do you have to go in? Yes. That's usually the obligation that you have to go in, because it comes with the criteria of being a nurse wherever you're on, like whatever floor that you're on. So for example, like I work in the operating room. And when you're on call, like you have a specific amount of time that you have to be there. We usually have like a primary and a backup. So if the primary doesn't pick up or do anything like that, then the backup comes in, and you usually have within, I think, like 30 minutes to an hour or something like that to get in. So, and honestly, it all just depends on the hospital, because some people that are on call, like, are actually in the hospital, like, on, in-house, in order for them to get all that stuff done. So you can't decline. Like usually if you're staff, you can't, like, you don't decline, like, being on call. I heard they pay you pennies. Honestly, it just depends. Like some places, like when you're on call, they pay you $1, some pay you $3. So it all just depends on where you are. And, but usually it's like when you work staff, or even if you're a travel nurse, like one of the requirements is that you pick up call, that you're on call, to take any type of emergencies or whatever's going on. It all just depends on where you are. Mostly, it depends. Mostly, $1 or $3. Yeah, that is correct. 100%. Hey, what's up to everybody? To all the 28 people that just jumped up in here. My name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse. You can follow me on all those social media platforms. Everything is at the Boot Nurse. Make sure you guys check out the 7-day NCLEX course. The link is in my bio. It's in the pre-launch or pre-sale phase right now, going for $48. You get it 80% off. As well as, which is $48, by the way, and you get every update until the course is done, all the way up to NCLEX style questions. And I'm actually going to implement weekly lectures, such as, we talk about pharmacology and all that good stuff. So we'll go through a lecture, then we'll go through a Q&A. So we're going to do that once a week. So that's coming up. Hey, I'm a one-man army out here, so I'm trying to do the best I can to get all that stuff out there. So I appreciate anybody that likes to jump up in that. As well as I appreciate you guys for being here. So I want you guys to smash that like button. Let me know where you guys are from. If you're new here, let me know where you're at in your nursing journey. Are you becoming a nurse? Are you in school? You take the NCLEX? How many times you take the NCLEX? Are you a nurse? Like where you work as a nurse, so on and so forth. Let me know. Where are you? Hi. Hey, I'm at home. How are you? I'm doing well. What's floating like? Can they send you anywhere? Yeah. Usually when they float you to a different department or a different area in the hospital, it's usually a different area in the hospital. Remember that the basic nursing skills are usually what is required whenever they float you somewhere. So like if you're a med-surg nurse and they need to float you to ICU, there's only certain patients that you can take. Like you can't take critical patients that are on pressors, because you as a med-surg nurse aren't trained to handle those patients. I mean, you're not supposed to. So I've literally had nurses when I worked on the ICU tell me that they couldn't take my patient because he was on a cardiazem drip at like five mLs an hour or something along the lines of that. I probably got that measurement wrong, but I'm sleepy right now, so whatever. But yeah, they can float you pretty much anywhere that they need you. So there's that. How to make the most money as a nurse. So how to make the most money as a nurse, that all just depends. It depends on you and depends on where you want to go, because the highest paid nursing position, according to nurse.org and a lot of other, like organizations like salary.com and stuff like that, is a certified registered nurse, anesthetist, so a CRNA. And they usually make, depending on 185 to 200 plus $1,000 a year. So, anywhere from 10 or like $15,000-$20,000 a month. It all just depends. So that's the highest paid nurse. But then, like I said, there are other positions that are out there. Like my friend Nurse Nelly over here probably makes like $100,000 a year because she's balling out of control. Don't let her lie to y'all. Make sure y'all go follow her on freaking on TikTok. Cardiovascular ICU nurses get paid pretty well. Usually stuff that's cardiac, they get paid pretty well. Like so CVOR, CVICU, not really tele, but not really cath lab either. But it all just depends. I'm an RN case manager. Hi, nice to meet you. Yep. So if anybody's interested, whoever is a nurse wants to understand what it's like to go from being a floor nurse to ICU nurse to being a case manager, Nurse Nelly is your lady. If anybody wants to understand going from the ICU and then pack you into the OR and into nurse education, that would be me. But like I said, welcome everybody to the chat. So let's see. What other question you got? Have you traveled as an RN, as a nurse yet? No, I have not. And to be honest, I probably won't. It was really one of the things that I wanted to do at least once. But then I realized that if I did decide to travel, it would be like as a nurse educator. Like I'm working my way out of bedside because I found my calling, which is teaching and educating. So, and believe it or not, they actually have travel nurse positions as like a nurse educator. So if they have those available, which I have subscribed to a lot of travel agencies, then I definitely wouldn't mind applying for one of those. So not yet. Why you lying? You balling out of control. Which state? Smile. If you're asking me what state, I live in Texas, where it's 108 degrees right now for no damn reason. So, that's where I'm at. I want to get trained. I want to get training where to go. Well, you got to elaborate on that for me. Like, what do you mean you want to get training? You want to get training where? Training how? Training from who? Like training in what area? You got to give me a little bit more context. Do you like nights or days? I like days. I was on days for a little bit. I was on days while I worked in the burn ICU, which was great. And then when I started orientation in a medical ICU, I was on days for like 3 weeks and they moved me to nights. I don't like nights because it messes with me too much. And hell, like usually when you get like 2 or 3 days off, like your first day or two, all you're doing is recovering. So, and it throws off like I'm sleeping, going to bed, staying up all night. And I was just like, man, I can't get nothing done because it's just like my brain's all like a fog. We're going to go to night shift. Open your mouth and tell somebody that you don't want to go to night shift. All right. So I will inbox about to know more. Okay, cool. I'll be looking forward to that. That's another thing, too. I've had a bunch of people message me about NCLEX and stuff like that and what's good programs. So I've already said that I'm always going to recommend mine, even though it's in pre-launch. So it all really just depends on where you are in your nursing program or where you are in your nursing journey, where you're trying to take the NCLEX. But like I said, it all just depends. But I like other ones. They have other ones that are out there like Archer, UWorld, Kaplan, Mark Klimick, Simple Nursing, Picmonic, all those other ones like that. So who is that? Is it a NEAT? Is it a NEAT or a NET? I need to know right now. Tell me right now. Is it a NEAT? A NET? If it's a NEAT, I want one. If it's a NET, I need two. Took your NCLEX this morning. Hey, you did all right. Did you do that? Did you do the Pearson VUE trick? I got a video on how to do it. Oh, number one, it's a NEAT. You're a NEAT person. All right, I'm done. I'll excuse myself. I'll just play it. You got the good pop-up? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, so if nobody's told you congratulations, I'll be the first person to tell you congratulations for getting a good pop-up. Remember that it's not 100% official until you get a license number and until you see it, or even when you pay that $7.95 through Pearson VUE where it says that you pass. As a matter of fact, here's something I want you to do, Anit, is that when you get that pass, I want you to screenshot it, edit out all your stuff and where you're from and all your license, and I want that pass to be right there. I want you to post it on social media, and then I want you to talk about your journey. And I'm pretty sure you're a part of all different types of Facebook groups, all different types. And I want you to post it in every single one. And I want you to post that story because you have no idea how many people are in the same shoes as you. I don't know how many times you've taken the exam. This could be your first time, could be your 10th time. But you have no idea the story that you would tell that would impact somebody in a positive way. All right. Hey, make sure y'all smash that like button. Make sure y'all give me all these likes. Make sure that you guys follow me. I'm real consistent. This is week number 2 to where I'm doing it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, right? So hey, somebody asked me like, hey, can you do this more? I'm giving you guys more. I'm giving you what you want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here for y'all. Definitely the plan. I looked at Reddit posts, etc., and they helped me out. That's awesome. Post it on Reddit. Post it on Facebook. Post it on Instagram. Like make a TikTok about it. Tag me in it. I'm like, hey, what up? He helped me. I'm saying, but do all that stuff. Like trying to change the narrative and spread the positivity about everything that's going on, like in the nursing field. So, bye. Smile. Is it smile? Bye. So there's that. So if you guys are new here, my name is Kevin. I know I said that a little bit ago, but welcome. I go by the Boot Nurse on every social media platform. Make sure you guys go follow me on all those. I even got Thread. Thread is just like Twitter, but it's Instagram's Twitter called Threads. Like funky threads. But make sure you guys go over there. If you know anybody that may miss this live stream, I post all the live streams. I just now started posting all the live streams over on my YouTube. So if anybody wants to go over there and look at it or feel like they missed something, or if I said something wrong and then you want to try to cancel me like 5 years from now, cool, you could do that. It'll be there. So make sure you guys go over there and check that out. Any advice? I want to go from nursing to medicine. I don't know exactly what that means. Like you want to go from nursing to like being a medical doctor. Thank you for the useful information. You are very, very welcome. So you want to go from a nurse to being a doctor. Okay, so if you want to go from a nurse to being a doctor, you're going to have to go the same route that everybody else did. And I don't know exactly where you're from or what country that you're in, but in the United States, you have to go get your undergrad. You have to take all of the prerequisite classes to go to medical school. You have to take your MCATs, which is medical school entrance exam. You have to do well on that, get accepted in medical school, then go to medical school, just like everybody else. That's exactly how I've known nurses and PAs that have gone back to school to want to be a medical doctor. And no one is exempt from that. Everybody has to go through it. So that's how that would have to be for you. Is it Mimi? Yeah, that's how it would have to go for you. What's the best nursing schedule? Do you recommend 3 days in a row? So in a perfect and ideal world, and I know Nurse Nellie's in here and she could probably attest to this. In the perfect world, you would want, if you had to work, if it was me, I would work 3 12s in a row and I would have 4 days off. You have some people that will work 7 days in a row and then have 7 days off. Me, absolutely not. I won't do that. You have some people that like working Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 2. So like in the operating room, we have 3 shifts. We have the morning, the mid shift, and we have the night shift. The morning shift is like 6:30. From 6:30 to 2 or 6:30 to 3 or something like that, right? So it all just depends. It all just depends on you and what you like. If I had to work 12-hour shifts, I would definitely go the 3 in a row. But I can tell you right now, it's very, very hard for you to get a 3 in a row because whoever makes the schedule usually is like the managers. They're just like, hey, like we'll give you they'll work you 2 days, give you a day off, then you'll come back that 4th day, and then you'll have another 2 days off. Like I'm like, bro, let me just work my 12 straight. So there's people like that work as nurses that do contract nursing or that are travel nurses, and they'll have in their contract that they want to work Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or they want to work we'll say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then they have 4 days off in a row. It's like a part of their negotiation, and there's no budging, no ifs, ands, or buts. And they'll put on there that they don't work, they don't do call, they don't do nothing like that. So like I said, it all just depends on you and what you feel for yourself. So what other questions you guys got? You guys see my stole? You guys see that? You want to know the funny thing about this stole? I didn't get this until after a week after I graduated. So luckily for me, the girls that I was with when I was in school had an extra stole and they let me wear it. But since I didn't get to wear this one and I didn't take pictures like everybody else did with their stoles, I was just like, this is going to be a nice little prop. And I figured that was a good spot to put it. So I'm struggling with my exit HESI as an LPN. Any advice on how to pass? So the first thing I'll tell you is wherever you're struggling. So let's just say if your exit exam obviously includes pharmacology, I would start with pharmacology. Start with the hardest sections first, and become familiar with them. Of course, this is going to be the same for NCLEX. Put yourself on a schedule. Ask questions in regards to like ask your instructors like, hey, I'm not really understanding this, that, and the third. Understand how the questions are built and understand what the questions are asking you. Is it first versus best? Who's stable versus unstable? LOC or oh my goodness, it's LOC ABCs. Like what's their level of consciousness? Like what is the ABCs? Like what's chronic? What's acute? Usually exit exams really have a lot to do about management of care, because management of care makes up like 18% of the entire NCLEX. So like if your exit HESI it's all about safety. Who do you see first? And with the LPN, so here's the one thing I tell people about the LPN, and I'll give a little disclaimer as well when it comes to my course. Everyone asks me, is this for LPNs? Here's the biggest difference about an LPN and an RN. It's all about scope of practice, and it's all about what you as the LPN or LVN, depending on where you live, who you can receive, and then when you need to get a hold of the RN, right? So at no point in time can an LVN or LPN have an unstable patient. So if you have a patient that comes straight from the operating room, LVN cannot assess that patient. Now, after 12 to 24 hours, can the LVN take that patient? Absolutely. But then let's just say, a day goes by or 8 hours goes by, and now your patient's blood pressure goes from, 120/80 to 90/60. That's a huge drop. At that point, this patient is now unstable. I need to get the RN so the RN can come assess. As an LVN, can you do sterile procedures? Absolutely. Can the UAP? No. You can only take stable patients. Can you take chronic patients? Yes. Can you take acute patients? No. So it's all about knowing who can take what. And so when you think about it in that fashion, you'll be able to smash your exit and you smash your HESI, or your exit and your NCLEX. So I hope that helps, Sue. That's all I got. That's all I got right now. If something pops up in my brain, I'll convey it. Have you heard of anybody working 3 days, 1 week, and to the next? What do you mean? What do you mean exactly, Ida? You're welcome, Sue. I need for you to elaborate a little bit more for me, Ida. Adalia. Adalia. Ida. Oh, my goodness. Let's see what you guys got going on. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about some other things, too. So you guys know I'm really big on the nursing news, so stuff that I said it right? I know. I always be messing it up. The last time, yeah. I always be messing it up. So you already know I'm just going to say Ida. You already know that. So you guys know I'm really big on the nursing news and the things that are happening. There was one that actually was really heartbreaking that I saw today in regards to essentially a nurse. A mother stabbed a nurse in the NICU, and I shared it on my Instagram. And usually, I kind of already know where this is going, because you have a mother who stabbed a nurse that's in the NICU, and most times when you have people that do stuff like that, they're like on drugs or something of the sort. I didn't read the article, but I just assumed, because in my mind, that's usually what happens. Like, you have babies that are in the NICU that are born prematurely because somebody does drugs or something along those lines. But I wanted to kind of save it and read it with you guys. That way, you guys are about to find out the same information that I'm about to find out. So essentially, this was on the 13th. A lady walks into the NICU of a local hospital and removed her newborn baby from the vent while threatening staff with a knife. She stabbed several staff members, including a nurse, while she was leaving. So essentially, she tried to abduct her child and took her child. The police responded to the stabbing. After arriving, police realized that she had left the hospital with a fragile newborn and immediately issued an arrest warrant and a search for the baby. The infant was found at her house and transported back to the hospital. The baby is in stable condition. That lady is being charged with aggravated child abuse, 2 counts of aggressive battery with a deadly weapon, and battery and resisting an officer without violence. Without violence. So it doesn't say anything necessarily else about what she was on or anything like that. But I mean, to go into somebody's NICU and to take your child that's on a ventilator, usually it's something that people that are on drugs, that's what they do. So, and it says 3 staff members were treated and released for non-life-threatening injuries after attempting to intervene while she was leaving the unit. And of course, they didn't talk about who those staff members were. But you can go on it. You can Google it. It says mother stabs nurse and takes baby from NICU. So it's wild. Like people out here are wild. They have no, you know, they have no issue with like taking a baby and stabbing somebody. Like it's just like people like that, you know, they got a lot of stuff going on, and I wish them the best, but it's just like, bro, you can't be doing stuff like that. You can't be doing stuff like that. And shout out to those nurses that were trying to protect that baby, because who knows what this lady had going on mentally with herself. So, and then of course there was another big one where there was a missing nursing student. Her name was Carly Russell. She was found and taken to the hospital. So essentially something happened to her to where she was trying to respond to something, or something happened and she essentially got kidnapped. But they found her and they took her to the hospital. I'm not going to read this whole thing because I don't want to bore you guys with this, but definitely check out that article, especially for my ladies. You always got to be safe out here, because we don't know, we don't know what's going on. I mean, everybody has to be safe out here, but man, oh man, oh man, I've seen so many abusive relationships, especially when I worked in the ER, and that's where you see some crazy shit happening. To where I even give you a quick story. There was a guy who was on a motorcycle. Both him and his girlfriend were drunk. The girlfriend actually worked in the hospital and weren't wearing a helmet, weren't wearing a jacket, nothing. He grounds the bike. She ends up having all these abrasions and stuff all over her body. And then the dude is still drunk or high or whatever. And he's coming out trying to see her, telling everybody to get away from her or hurting her. And he's trying to fight. He tried to fight me. He tried to fight another male nurse. And then, you know, the police came and grabbed him. And then they like subdued him, did whatever. They moved her up to one of the floors. And then next, you know, he snuck his way up there and started acting up and telling her like not to say, like, you could tell it's just a very abusive relationship that they were in. And all I could do at that point is pray, and you have to like point them in the right direction for her to, you know, essentially break away from that. And it's like, it's really crazy. So definitely be careful out there. Not everybody's good for you. All right. I don't care how much you love them. Not everybody's good for you. You know, I was just talking about this today. We are in a toxic relationship with nursing. Facts. We really are in a toxic relationship. I said the same thing about the Navy. It's the longest relationship I've ever been in that I want and didn't want. But, you know, that's just kind of how it is. Like, we're always abused, yelled at, etc., and then told this is what you signed up for. I'm telling you right now, I ain't signed up for nobody to try to stab me while I'm taking care of their sick baby. Right? I ain't signing up for nobody to come up in there and call me out my name because of the color of my skin. Because that's happened to me a lot. Right? I ain't signing up for nobody to spit on me. I ain't signing up for nobody to try to do, you know, try to fight me. I had a guy who was in the ICU who was a lawyer who tried to square up, and I for a split second I forgot where I was. For a split second I forgot where I was. I forgot what I worked hard for, because my man was trying me hardcore. So, but yeah, those are a couple of news things. Thank you for what you do. I appreciate it. Is it Mary Vickhouse? Is it Vickhouse? Okay, Mary Vickhouse. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it. Not just me, but for all the other nurses that are out here doing stuff. You know, people don't really realize, like, not only is nursing a very hard occupation to get in, nursing school is like one of the top 5, if I remember right, schools, you know, even occupations to even be a part of. Like the dropout rate is very, very high, as well as, you know, the people leaving the job and profession now it's at a very high rate because of how COVID was. But then everything is coming to light because of social media and, you know, how we're treated. So, you know, shout out to everybody else that's just trying to do it out here, trying to make it for themselves. And to all those nurses and nursing students, well, we'll say nursing students, nursing grads, and people that are in the pre-nursing phase and wanting to become a nurse, is whatever they tell you about all that nonsense, this is what you signed up for. That ain't it, right? You came here because you have a dream, Martin Luther King style. And you also have that want, that passion, and that love of wanting to take care of another human being because other people won't. You know, sometimes it's like a thankless job. Like, you know, you go to it and it's like, okay, cool. You go to the job, you do this. Should you be compensated well for it? Absolutely. But should you still care for your people? Absolutely. You know, it's a civil servant type of, you know, job to take care of people. It's very hard. Like, you deal with other people's emotions, not just the patient, but the family member. And then you have to be the one to hold all that in and be strong for everybody. It's hard. Like, it's really, really hard. There's been plenty of times I've had family members like want me to hold their hands while their family member died, or cry on my shoulder. It's so hard for just random people that you're talking to, you build a relationship with, they cry on your shoulder and you don't cry with them. Hey, that kind of comes with the territory, and then it could be very overwhelming for a lot of people. So I am in an accelerated BSN program. Wish me luck. Eminem, not like the rapper, but like the damn chocolates that I had today. I was in an accelerated BSN program. It was 18 months. So, what's the fall, the spring, the summer, fall. It was January of 2017, August 2018. So it went really fast. So best of luck to you. It's accelerated. People have done it. I've done it. Doesn't mean that you can't do it. You're going to do well. But just be ready. It's gonna go really, really fast. Before you know it, you're going to be at graduation. Before you know it, you're going to be working on the floor. And then before you know it, you're going to be on TikTok like, oh my God, I need to go be a travel nurse because they make more money. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that's what you're going to be doing. I have TikTok in my drafts about this topic. Okay. Well, you already know that whenever you post it, Nurse Nelly, I'm going to see it and I'm going to like it anyway. So, hey, talk that talk. Let them know. OR nurse sounds extremely stressful. It's not, honestly. You can get through anything if magic made it. No, my bad. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. Shout out to Magic Johnson. But anyways, OR nursing is, it can be very stressful. It's a lot of command and conquering because, you got to deal with anesthesia. You got to deal with the surge techs. You got to deal with the physicians or the surgeons. Sometimes you got to deal with the surgeon's assistants. And then, so, you got to make sure that the patient's good. You got to make sure anesthesia's good. Surge tech is good. Hey, doc, are you good? And so remember, you're in the OR, you're the only unsterile person besides anesthesia. So the people in blue can't touch nothing. You got to do all the touch and form outside of everything that's blue. So I worked in the robots and I did like general surgery, and GYN. They have other specialties like orthopedics, and you can work in neuro, you can work ortho spine, you can work in vascular, you can do hearts, you can do all that stuff. I didn't want to do any of those. That's why I stuck to the robots. And I enjoy actually doing the robots. I don't care about doing nothing else. But it can be stressful. It can. But just like anything, once you find your footing, like you get into a routine and it kind of just flies and it goes. Yeah, Eminem, you got this. Can't wait to graduate. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, graduate. When you graduate, that ain't the end. Trust and believe me. When you get your NCLEX, trust and believe me when I tell you that ain't the end. All right, it's like you climb one small mountain to get to the peak, and you're just like, yay! And then as soon as those clouds clear out, you got another damn mountain that you're about to climb. It's only the beginning. So, but you gonna get there. You gonna get there. If I can get there, Nurse Nelly can get there. I wish that Nurse Alice was here. Hey, this is what I want for y'all to do. I want for y'all to go to like nurse.org, and I want for y'all to flood go to Nurse Alice on Instagram, and I need for y'all to flood her and tell her that I want to be on her podcast. I'm literally going to say that every time I do a TikTok. I'm literally going to say it, and I want it to happen. She might message me and be like, why are you telling people to do that? She's really nice. I've talked to her a few times, but she's really nice. That peak is just the bottom of the next mountain. Facts. 100%. So if you guys ever want to know anything about what's coming up at like the nursing field or the occupation, hell, like nursing lifestyle, any type of healthcare, resources, jobs, hell, even salaries for specific jobs or for specific areas of nursing, nurse.org has it all. Like I don't get paid by them. I don't get sponsored by them. I found nurse.org when I was like in the middle of nursing school. And they have they have a whole bunch of stuff in there. I mostly now just follow them for all the news that they have going on because they're on it. And all these articles are written by nurses. Like every single article on this website is written by a nurse of some sort. Starting my ABSN this fall. I stress out already. Oh, that's okay. What is that? TT Mimi? 2013. You'll be all right. It's normal. It's normal for you to be stressed out because, you're going into the unknown. You're kind of taking a leap off of a cliff. But just like everything, like I was telling someone earlier, is that kind of comes with the territory. But once you get into a rhythm and you get into a routine, before you know it, it's going to be over. It's going to be over. You're going to be graduated. You're going to be taking your NCLEX. Hopefully I've bought mine, which is in the bio. So check it out. And you're going to be at the peak, the top of that mountain. and just to start at the bottom of another mountain. So you're going to be all right. Trust and believe. Would you do travel nursing? Me personally, who is that, a crypto tracker? So earlier I had said something. I don't know exactly when you got here, but earlier I said that I probably won't do travel nursing unless it was like for a nurse educator position. I do a lot of stuff working from home. Like my whole thought process right now is to work on my course, and I want to do that full time. I want to give it all the love and attention that it needs, so it could be better for y'all and for whoever decides that they want to grab it. I want to, it's just like your child. Like you want to baby it, you want to nurture it, and you want it to grow up to be the best thing that you've ever created. So if I did travel nursing, that would actually delay that, extremely for me finishing that. So when I first started working as a nurse, I was all about the travel nursing because that money is good. And regardless of whatever people are saying right now, the money is still good. On my last TikTok, I actually went through some of the numbers and I talked about, hey, there was an OR nurse position that they were paying $4,000 a week on. That's $16,000. That's 16 grand at $4,000 a week. That sounds like a no-brainer for people that do want to travel. You know what I mean? So for me personally right now, I don't want to travel, but is traveling good? I met a lot of nurses that once they go travel, they never go back. So TT Mimi, you are welcome. Yes, ma'am. You are very, very welcome. I'm going to hang out here for another 15 minutes. Usually I sit on here for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but your boy got stuff you got to do. So, that's $206 or $208 annually. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, 208,000, right? However, you got to think about those taxes. And I'm telling you right now, they will tax you hardcore. $3,000 to $4,000 in New York. Yep, for sure. Because you can find them out there. You can definitely find them out there. There's one lady that I follow. Her name is Sarah Gaines. And she goes on Instagram. Hers is the 6-figure travel nurse. She actually has a course. I want to say it's like $300. And she literally walks you through step by step how to maximize being a travel nurse. Like how to negotiate, how to write the resume. She does all kinds of stuff. So, and she's one of those people that I like following, and I follow because I wanted to do travel nursing, but I also like the nursepreneurship that she's doing, as well as other people like the nurse Sam, who she created a nursing bundle and all that stuff. So, I follow a lot of people that do stuff like that. Nothing but positivity out there. So, but travel nursing, get your experience as a nurse at least a year, and then go off and go see the world. You can go be a travel nurse here in the United States. You can take an international travel nursing contract to like Europe, the Middle East, Asia, Australia. You can go anywhere. I like how passionate you are about your field. I do love the nursing. I do love nursing as a whole. Like I really, really do. I am just not, and I'll be completely honest, I'm just not a fan of bedside nursing. And it has nothing to do with the patients. And I'm saying that it has nothing to do with the patients. It is the overall organizational structure that bothers me. And how nurses are treated and how nurses are paid, which is why I tell everybody, hey, get your experience and then go find somewhere else where they're going to pay you more and they're going to value you, because some places they'll try to pay you like drastically under the table. Like it's wild to me. It's wild. So, but like I said, the money is out there. You just got to look for it. No one's going to give it to you for free. I can tell you that. So, but yeah, I'm definitely passionate about being a nurse. So, well, everyone, if you guys don't know who this is, the emo nurse practitioner, her name is the emo nurse practitioner. And she's one of the homies. If you guys don't know this, look who we have. Look at who we have here. First of all, let me tell you that this woman right here is great. When I first started working in the ICU and I was working nights, she of all people knows how crazy it was working nights. And she took me under her wing and she taught me so much about being an ICU nurse. And so here she is Miss Emo Nurse Practitioner, who just went to a Paramore concert and had a blast. So shout out to you for being the straight emo kid that you are. But yeah, thanks for showing up to the lives. I think this is the first one you've been to. So, yeah, if anybody wants to know about being a nurse practitioner or anything like that, the emo nurse practitioner, that is your lady. She is that lady. Yeah, she's a nurse's nurse, like straight up. She is. And she's one of the homies. So sometimes she would come in. I would be like, ma'am, where have you been? She's like, oh, just hanging out, driving in her Tesla. She'd be hailing the Tesla all the way to wherever she's standing. I was like, must be nice. Must be real nice, ma'am. All I wanted to do was just drive it one day, but whatever. So we got a good amount of people up in here. We got 11 people. We had like 27 people up in here. It's all good. But if you're just joining, my name is Kevin. The emo nurse practitioner is one of my mentors, and she's pretty awesome. But appreciate you guys for showing up. Follow me on all those social media platforms. Everything at The Boot Nurse. You can check out the YouTube, the Instagram, the Thread, the Facebook group at the Boot Nation. Everybody go be a part of that. Anybody interested in the NCLEX? I don't care if you're a nursing student or if you're somebody preparing for the NCLEX. Check out the 7-day NCLEX course. The link is in my bio. I've been telling a lot of nursing students that are in their first semester or even wanting to go into nursing school that you can get the 7-day NCLEX course right now for $48. So if you don't graduate for another 2 years, you get every update for $48 forever. I'm just saying. So it's there. And I plan on, the goal is I'm uploading 6 lessons this coming up Sunday. I'm a one-man army. I'm doing everything essentially by myself, recording my videos, editing my videos. I want to make sure that they look really nice. And I'm going to start implementing doing lectures once a week. So we'll go over a lecture, for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I'll go through my whole spiel, and then we'll do a Q&A at the end, just so that's something that I want to give to somebody who wants to jump into it early. So I appreciate everybody. Make sure y'all go follow Nurse Nelly, and make sure y'all go follow the emo nurse practitioner. She got more fans than I do. Bessie and the Tessie, straight up. Bessie and the Tessie, a clown. They're a real role model. Would you want to be a nurse practitioner? Let me tell you how the emo nurse really tried to convince me to go be a nurse practitioner. She was just like, I'll help you. I'll help you do everything. And she's serious. Like, she will literally sit down next to me and we will go through everything together. But being a nurse practitioner just was never, it was one of those things I kind of treaded. CRNA which is what I was really going for at one point. But I was nurse practitioner. I really kind of treaded, and she kind of was convinced me to do it. And our other friend, Amanda, who is another beautiful soul, she was actually one of my preceptors as well when I was starting as an RN, or when I started in the ICU, tried to convince me to do it. And it's just not, nurse practitioner is just not in the cards for me. It was the education portion that was in the cards for me that I really, really loved and enjoyed. So nurse practitioner is out the door. I'll let other people, like Miss Bessie with the Tessie, I'll let her do that. Yes, I'm preparing for NCLEX. Is that Kristen? Did I say it right? Because, you got exclamation, $T, 3N. So I'm assuming your name is Kristen. So good luck to you on preparing for your NCLEX. You're going to do well. Just prepare for it. Make sure you put yourself on a schedule. Be accountable. Time management is super important. Start with those sections that you don't do so well on, and then work your way towards the ones that you already know very well. Cut people off. Remember, your license is not going to say Kristen, your first name, your last name, and friends, or Kristen, first name, last name, or family. It's going to say your first name, last name, whatever state you're from, whatever nursing license number you get. And there it is. So cut people off. Cut people off, and then see who's really your friend after you get your license. All right. So for the 5 people that are in here, y'all better have been following me right now. I need to see this thing lighten up on the side. So we got a lot. Hey, that's what I'm saying. I like being here. I like talking to you guys about all kinds of stuff. I like talking to you guys about experiences. I'll keep it really real and keep it honest. So whatever questions you guys whatever you guys have question wise, just let me know. I'll be on here for like another 10 minutes, and then I'm going to get off. So whatever question you guys have, just lay them on me. Make sure you guys share this. Make sure you guys share this with other people. Make sure you guys have the notification button on as well. That way you guys know when I go live. As of right now, I'm on week 2 of being consistent, right? Got to be consistent. without consistency, you'll never finish. That's what Denzel Washington said, right? So I'll be doing another TikTok live on Wednesday. Probably do it about 5 o'clock. That's when I know a lot of people are here or on their way home or already at home, relaxing and chilling, stuff like that. So whatever you guys got. So I like to try to keep the consistency so that way people can see this nice Jason Derulo doppelganger. Or technically, I'm his doppelganger because I'm older than him, but he's much taller than me. You know, it don't even matter. Make sure you guys smash that like button. All right. How did you pass the TEAS test? It seems like so much. I took it twice. I never took the TEAS exam. I took the HESI. I did prepare for the TEAS when I was looking to go to different schools, but when I took the HESI because that's the one that my school required. On one of my TikToks, I recommended a couple of books, the books that I use. And I want to say for the TEAS, it was that, is it that Mometrics? It's the yellow book, the Mometrics yellow book that I was using. And I thought it was put together pretty well. And what's your program? Are you going in? Is that Nubian? What's your program? Remind me, is it an LPN or RN? I can't really remember. But regardless, if you're doing ATI, I think that what is it, the Mometrics or whatever. I think that's a good book to look at. It's the yellow book. You can't miss it, and it's on Amazon. I want to say it's like $30 or something along the lines of that. Yeah, that one. There you go. And it's a yellow book. Is it Kiba? You know what? User individual. Not even going to try to say that name because I feel like I'm going to butcher it and I don't want to butcher it. So, but I see you though. I see you out there. So what else you guys got? We got 8 minutes. 8 minutes. You are welcome, ma'am. You are welcome. Also, what else is going on? What else is going on in the nursing world? What else is going on? What else do you guys want to know? Give you all the advice. Try to give you as much advice as possible. One thing I'll say is that it doesn't matter if you're a nurse. It doesn't matter if you're going nursing. Go to where you're happy. I'm all about mental health. I'm all about, loving yourself. I'm all about, finding what is best for you. So if nursing is not for you when you become a nurse, it's okay. It's okay for you to find where your love and your passion is at. All right. Nursing could just very well tell you, hey, you know what? I enjoyed the skill. I enjoyed acquiring all this, but nursing just isn't for me. I've met so many nurses that have left nursing to go do real estate or go do finance or go do underwater basket weaving, like whatever they want. Right. So, it all just depends on you. But as long as you're happy and you're moving in a positive direction, do you and be happy. Is master's worth it? Depends on the master's degree that you get. And it depends on how you utilize that master's degree. So getting your master's degree to be a nurse practitioner, pretty good one. Getting a master's degree in informatics, pretty good one. Because a lot of these places want you to have a master's degree. But do you have to get a master's degree? No. I know nurses that have their associate's degree that travel, that make over $100,000 a year. An ADN nurse or an ADN nurse or ABSN nurse or whatever you want to call it, they make like $1 less than I do, if that, working as a nurse in a hospital. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you go. Tips about being a new grad. Well, so the tips about being a new grad. This is for Kristen. Be a sponge, and by that I mean absorb everything that's around you, good and bad. The good so you can take it with you, and the bad so you don't absorb those bad habits and you don't become the bad individuals that you're going to run into. Because trust and believe me, you will find some bad individuals that you run into. If you see something, say something. Never, ever let anybody disrespect you. And by that, I mean, don't let that nurses eat your young shit. Don't let it happen to you. You'll find those nurses that'll be underhanded and undermine you and talk behind your back. They'll start being all cliquey and shit. Don't do it. Don't let it happen to you, and don't do it. And I'm telling you, don't be. Everybody in here seen Mean Girls, right? Don't be a mean girl. And when I tell you that shit is real in the nursing world, it is real. And I'm a guy. I have no problem separating myself from any nonsense, right? Or any like cliquey stuff. So definitely don't have the mean girl effect, okay? And it's okay. And if you're unhappy in any area of nursing, leave it. What are they gonna do? Oh, Kristen left. Who cares? What if it's not for you? You could go work in med-surg, or go work at tele, or then go work in the OR, then go work in PACU, or then go work in oncology. You can literally jump 6 damn departments until you find out where you want. And then the whole time, your love was, being an aesthetics nurse and wanting to fucking put, Botox and fillers and lip injections. Obviously, I don't have that problem. Right? But other people want to get lip injections, right? And maybe that is where your area, maybe that's where you want to go. And maybe that's what makes you happy. I can tell you right now, there's a lot of nurses that I've worked with that were like, I want to go do aesthetics. Because a lot of those girls, they work in spas or day spas, and, nurses want to go there. And I don't blame them. I want to go and relax. I don't want no Botox. I don't want no lip fillers. But a massage is cool. So, but yeah. Go to where you're happy. Did you pass your NCLEX the first time? No, I did not. If you don't know my story, you can check out my my video on YouTube where it says I failed NCLEX. I actually failed my NCLEX 3 times. I failed it 3 times, and I passed on the 4th. October 2018, July of 2019, September 2019, or June of 2019, and then September of 2019, I failed. 75 questions, 265 questions, 106 questions failed. And then I passed on my 4th attempt during COVID, when they opened everything back up little by little. I got 60 questions. I was in and out in an hour and 5 minutes. Passed. So I've been a nurse since June 5th, 2020. And so I just passed my 3-year anniversary of being a nurse. So, no one would ever know that. Nobody would ever know that I failed my NCLEX unless I opened up my mouth to tell you. Will we agree? I think we would all agree on that, right? But here's why I tell you this, is because it makes me relatable. And here's another thing that I say about other people that have other NCLEX reviews, is that if they don't tell you what makes you relatable, why would you even want to bother with something that they have? Granted, they have a lot of good stuff out there. A lot of things are great, but that is why I do this, is because this portion right here where I tell about how I fail, nobody talks about it. I failed it. Nobody talks about how they failed it. And then no one openly tells you about failing. You'll see a bunch of people posted on YouTube about them failing, yada, yada, yada. And then they'll talk about how they passed. And I was like, okay, so here's my thing, is that if you failed, why don't you help other people to not feel that way? And so that's why I started coaching. I started coaching immediately after I got my NCLEX, after I got my license. Because I said to myself, like 6 to 9 months prior to that, I was just like, man, when I pass my NCLEX, I think I'm going to start coaching, because I never want anybody to feel how I feel. Ever. I never want anybody to feel like they're a failure, like they can't do this. I hated it when people that worked in the hospital, they were like, you can't pass that exam. That exam's not that hard. Okay. Sorry, Vanessa. Okay. Sorry, we can't pass it the first time. Right? Shout out to Vanessa. Anyways, I'm just kidding. I promise you, I'm just kidding. Don't come after me. Anyways, so that's the deal about it. Right? It's just like, how can I fail? But then how can I really, really show people that they can still make it? All right. There's one thing that my mentor, who's also an ICU nurse, well, he's a retired ICU nurse right now, but he flat out told me, he was just like, Kevin, you have to fail fast, you have to fail forward, and you have to fail often. Because if you fail often and you fail fast, the faster that you do it, the faster that you can recover and learn from why you failed. But when you fail forward, you're still progressing. And that's what happened. Like, if you go to my freaking YouTube channel and you look at why I failed NCLEX, you can see I post all 3 breakdowns. And in every single breakdown, it gets better and better and better. So when the 4th one came, I already knew I was going to pass it. But no job is ever going to care. Ever. No job is ever going to be like, Hey, how many times you passed? How many times you take the NCLEX? Nope, not going to care. I feel like I have to repeat myself every single time I do a TikTok live, but it's okay because, we get new people on here, and I'm glad that you asked that question because I have no problem telling you about it. None whatsoever. None. Because I want people to know that I failed. Because you never know if you're going to be in that position. Because then when you fail, first place I want you to go to is me. You're going to be like, hey, I failed my NCLEX. I'm like, that's cool. So did I. So I feel you. I'm right there with you. Now, my next question is, what are you going to do about it? That's all I ask. I was like, I don't coddle. I don't coddle. Right? So I want to know, what are you going to do? You failed. All right. Now, what are you going to do to fix it? Okay, you failed again. Okay, cool. Now let's look back and let's see what you did. All right, now you need to improve upon that and go again. And then again and again and again and again. Keep going until you pass it. Because in the end, no one's ever going to ask you, ever. Who's saying, what are you going to suggest to study for NCLEX review? I don't know exactly what you mean. You mean like what review? Like what review to purchase? Are you talking about my review? Or you got to give me a little bit more context in that. Who is that? Crypto Tracker. Taking it 4 times would actually even make you more knowledgeable. You would think, and it does, because you want to know what's crazy? It put me in the mindset. To where I wasn't even nervous going into the testing center because I already knew. I already knew exactly what they were going to do. I already knew exactly what they were going to ask. So there was nothing was a surprise. I walked in there. Before I even got out of my truck, I said, I will pass NCLEX. And then I answered myself. I was like, fucking right. And I walked my happy ass in there, went up the elevator, went to the 4th floor, because that's where they had the Pearson VUE Testing Center, walked in, gave him my ID card, filled out, did whatever, put my hand on a little biometric scanner. They sat and took my picture, gave me the little sealable thing, put it inside of a locker, had my little key around my thing, went to the back. Lady pointed with like a fucking yardstick, and she was like, these are the rules. You better follow them or we're going to fucking fail your test. And I was just like, oh, well, I don't want that, right? And at that point, I already knew that. So when I walked in there, because I had already prepared to take my NCLEX, because I was practicing. The way that I practice is the way that I went to the game, if that makes sense. As soon as I sat down and I started answering all these questions, I got to a position like this. And then I didn't even realize that my hand was right here until I was at question 45. By that time, I'm more than halfway through the test. And I'm flying through it. I was at a really good steady pace. Then I got to question 60 at an hour 5. And I was just like, and it was, everybody that's taking the NCLEX, you know how long it takes to load? And you're just like, damn, why is it taking so long? And then it said the test was complete. At that point, that's when I freaked out. I didn't freak out at all during the exam. But then when the test was over, I was like, oh my God. But at no point in time did I feel like I failed. I felt very, very good and very, very confident because the way that I practiced for it. And it definitely did make me more knowledgeable. And it's even like I said, the simplest things of just walking into the testing center was that much easier. Liar, it's on the application. How many times did you take the NCLEX first question? Why are you lying? Don't do that to people. Don't do that to people. Over here telling them that they're going to ask you how many times you take the NCLEX. Maybe I'll ask you how many times you take the NCLEX, but no job will ever ask you that. So, yes, your review. Oh, so we can do, essentially, I'll try to go down and do different lectures. So I'm going to start essentially with the first batch of lectures that I have, which are a lot. And then essentially we just go through it. So I'm going to start from, what is the NCLEX, computer adaptive testing, the NCLEX testing standard, the NCLEX test plan, which is a very, very huge one, which is the video I'm actually going to be working on right after I get off this Instagram live. Or this TikTok live. Hey, don't tell TikTok that I just called TikTok Instagram. It might ban me and I may never see you guys again. All right. And I don't want that. So, but, yeah, so we'll go down those. We have other ones like, I have a couple of them that are up right now, like restraints, collaboration with an interdisciplinary team. We have delegation and supervision, like who can do what, who's responsible, stable versus unstable. What can the LPN do? What can the UAP do? What can the LPN accept? So who has these specific duties of what they can do? I have a lot of things in stored, such as like pharmacology question or pharmacology lectures, cardiac lectures, GYN, neurology, respiratory, all the important lectures that you need to know to help you gain that content. Right now, like I said, my course is $48. And the first phase, it is very, very, very content heavy. Because you have to have content in order for you to understand NCLEX style questions. The NCLEX style questions are coming. They are coming. But first phase is content. Content, and then the questions are going to come. So everything goes in phases. And that's why I said I want as many people to be a part of that and watch the growth. It's just like, planting a seed and then watching it turn into a tree, right? That's how we want it. All right. And Hussein. So hopefully that answers your question. No one even talks about NCLEX once you pass. There's no bragging rights. You're right. 100%. No one cares. No one cares. The only time NCLEX ever comes up when I'm at work is when I have nursing students. Because I really hone in, as soon as I get a student, I'm like, come here, I got them. And I'll have 3 students in the room with me. And I was just like, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? And I'll even give them tips. I'll tell them YouTube channels to go check out. I'll tell them to check out my channel. I'll tell them to follow me. If they have any questions, they can ask me. No problem. And they'll be like, hey, so I'm having a hard time with, understanding neuro and applying it to the nursing, the nursing assessment aspect of it. I'm like, okay, remember, nursing, when it comes to the NCLEX, everything is about nurse safety, right? So let's think about it. What are they having neurologically that's wrong with them, right? Like, do they have a stroke, right? Do they have myasthenia gravis? What is an issue? Okay, safety, walking. Do they have problems swallowing? It becomes an airway issue, right? Do they have Parkinson's? So there's those different things that you have to know in regards to, what the disease process is and how, and what is the safest way to take care of that patient, right? Seizure medications, stuff like that. No one's smarter than the other. We are all licensed nurses. That's all that matters. Yep. That's all that matters. But in reality, if you ain't in ICU thinks that they're better than you, so on and so forth, right? But don't bother me. So as a nurse, can you maneuver through the nursing field, go from OR to travel nurse to specialty? Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Your RN license makes you versatile. And I had a conversation essentially with somebody last time I was here. So for me, I went from a burn ICU to a medical and neuro ICU to PACU, or the recovery room, to the OR. I'll give you an example. Nurse Nellie went from working on one of the floors to working in the ICU to now doing case management. You can do whatever you want, essentially. You can go be an OR nurse and then get your skills up as an OR nurse and then go travel. Right. And then if you decide to I want to specialize and I want to do hearts. OK, cool. Let's do hearts. So then you can specialize and be in the cardiovascular OR, where you only do vascular cases that involve the heart or any part of the vessels. Right. What's up, Fab Life? Hey, Fab Lifestyle Boutique. How are you? Vasculator. I'm going to start calling that Vasculator. You want to be an OR vasculator? Oh, my goodness. Hey, shout out to the 10 people that are hanging out with me and the 2,000 likes that we got. If you guys, this is the first time here, my name is Kevin. I go by The Boot Nurse. Check me out on all those social media platforms. Everything is at The Boot Nurse. We're talking about nursing, the nursing field. We're talking about NCLEX. We're talking about, you can essentially ask me anything. You know me. I'm an open book for the most part. Anybody interested in the NCLEX, or if you're a brand new nurse just starting school and you want to get a jump on the NCLEX, check out the 7-day NCLEX course. The link is in my bio. Right now it's going for $48 and you get it for a lifetime. Yes, I said a lifetime. So definitely check that out. And we're talking about nursing news. We talked about a couple things, and we're essentially sitting here, and I want to know who you are, I already know kind of who you are because I see your name on there, but where you're from, where you're at in your nursing journey. So are you starting nursing school? Are you in nursing school? Did you graduate? Did you take your NCLEX? How many times did you take it? Are you somebody who's interested in going to nursing school? Stuff like that. Can I purchase it as a gift? Oh, bro, here he comes. Hold on. Oh, bye-bye. It's my son. He's crazy. Can I purchase it as a gift? Yeah, you can purchase it as a gift. You sure can. So you definitely can purchase it as a gift. Just let me know. I can kind of move some stuff around and we could talk about that if you want to purchase it as a gift. Florida interested in going to nursing school. Okay, cool. Well, what makes the NCLEX difficult? What makes the NCLEX difficult is 2 years of accumulating all this knowledge and it giving you a randomized test based off of how you answer it. And not only giving you a randomized test based off of how you answer it, but it's the complexity it's the complexity of how the questions are asked to you. And depending on how you answer will depend on the next question that is given to you. So if they give you a hard question, they're going to give you a harder question. If they give you if they give you a hard question and you answer it correctly, you're going to get a harder question. If you answer it incorrectly, they're going to give you an easier question. So that's the difficulty of the NCLEX. And honestly, it's an endurance race because it really tests everything that you learn from the beginning of nursing school all the way until you graduate. And so some nursing schools can be anywhere from 2 to 4 years. So it all just depends, right? So Fabulous Boutique or Fab Lifestyle Boutique. You're interested in going to nursing school. What do you want to know about nursing school? Like, what do you want to know? You want to talk about, you want to look up those schools that are accredited. You want to do your prerequisites. If you're interested in going to nursing school, I would recommend looking at your local hospital, checking in with the Red Cross that's at that hospital and getting some experience. As in, surrounding yourself around the individuals that you want to be like. So so essentially kind of getting that experience without getting that experience. And nursing schools love to see that you volunteer at a hospital taking care of people. Getting your volunteer on when it comes to nursing applications, and nursing school is hard to get into because it's very competitive now. That's one of those things that will set you apart. Is volunteering in a hospital. Taking your personal time and volunteering to take care of people. Okay. So as a nurse, you have to have incredible memory. I wouldn't say incredible memory. However, you do have to familiarize yourself with things. Like there's a lot of things you just don't remember, but there are a lot of things that I do remember. Like every nurse needs to know what a normal pH is. Every nurse has to know that. That is a remembering memorization question. But not every nurse is going to remember what what certain medications are. So it all just depends. It's all about making yourself familiar. There were medications that got thrown at me and I was like, man, I have never seen that medication before. So what do I have to do? I break out my handy dandy, trusty rusty notebook. Hey, shout out to Blue's Clues, right? Because I watch Blue Clues all the time, even the new one. So I open it up and I go to my app with pharmacology and meds. And I'm just like, oh, that's what that does. There's nothing wrong with you breaking out your phone to look up a medication. That's okay. That is okay. Put it this way. If I gave you a medication and you didn't know what it was and then you just went to go give it willy-nilly, we're about to have a problem. I'm like, before I even get out, like, hey, what is this medication? All right, cool. What does it do? All right, why wouldn't I give this medication? Okay, now, based off of what you just told me and based off of what we see in regards to the patient, should we give this medication? They're going to be like, they're either going to tell me yes or no, and they're either going to give it because part of your nursing process is, do I hold a medication or do I give it? Right? So just think about that. Let me go back up. Y'all over here asking all them questions. I am scared of nursing school. Don't be scared of nursing school. You have to embrace it. You have to embrace nursing school, or nursing school will chew you up and spit you out. All right? Embrace whatever is about to come, because if that's what you want, that's what you're going to get. If you want to be a nurse, you can't just be like, hey, I want to be a nurse, but I want it to be easy. Nah, can't do all that. You got to embrace what's going to come. Will a PCA be good experience for nursing school? I would think so. Because you got to think, if you're a PCA, you have direct access to nurses, do you not? Just saying. Think about that, right? User 105787. That sounds like a robot. Yes, that's what I did. It let me know I wanted to be a nurse. Okay, awesome. To me, you're talking about being I got you, talking about being a PCA. Do you need any type of certification to be a PCA? In hospitals, it depends. A lot of times they'll hire you and they'll put you through the training, and then they'll give you a certification. Like they'll certify you like through the hospital. So it all just depends. What about a medication technician? What do you mean a medication technician? Like, are you a pharmacy tech? Angie B? Hey, I got these kebabs. They look really good. Oh my God, they're so good. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Mm-hmm. In the hospital, I used to Google all medication before. Yep. There's actually some hospitals that have contracts with these other people that make pharmacy or pharmacology update stuff. One is called Up to Date. My hospital has it. So at any point in time I wanted to look up a medication, it'll tell you if it's compatible, if you can give it through the same line, what are the contraindications, all kinds of stuff. It was great. You can purchase it on your own, but it's kind of expensive too. So I made Cajun chicken Alfredo. Hey, that sounds so good. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That sounds delicious. Delicious. I literally said I was gonna get off here, and y'all held me hostage, all of you, and I don't like that. That's messed up. It depends on where you work. My old hospital hired anyone off the street. Are you right? They'll be like, "Hey, we'll make you the lead PCA, and we'll give you $18 an hour," and you don't know what a PCA is. It was better than ramen. I used to work, right? There it is. I think more lexical, right? Mm-hmm. All right. So a medication tech. Who was that? Angie. So what exactly do you mean about a medication tech? As in like somebody that just passes like PO meds? Like I'm assuming that's what you mean, right? So I'm just asking. I'm just trying to make sure. Maybe I should start putting music on in the background. What y'all think? Make it. Nelly, make it a man. GG, was it GG Girls LLC? I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. I should probably go look at that. Does being a nurse affect any part of your life? Like, do you eat healthier knowing all diseases? You would be extremely surprised, Crypto Tracker, that it does not. Like, you see people that come in there with cardiovascular disease or coronary artery diseases, all diabetes and everything, but it's just like, I've seen nurses and doctors, they go outside, they smoke cigarettes, we drink Monsters, we drink coffee. Some of us are a lot of us are overweight, not me. And mentally it can be very, very stressful. Especially if you work in places where people die all the time or where people are getting hurt, like, at some point it can weigh on you. So your mental health is, like I said, I tell everybody your mental health is actually like what is the most important. So if you're somewhere, like being a nurse doesn't mean that you have to be stuck in a hospital. You can go work in a clinic. You can go work for an insurance company. You can go work for a biotech company. You can go work for a medical devices company. You can go work for NASA. You can go work for SpaceX. You can go into the military and do it. You can freaking do occupational nursing, home health nursing. Go be a school nurse and take care of some kids. Do case management, data utilization. You can do so much with being an RN or being a nurse, period. Hell, they even have those not case management positions, but they even have like remote jobs for LVNs. So many out there. Is PCA a patient care assistant or a personal care aide? It's patient care assistant. So I actually work with a nurse in a nursing home helping her pass medications. Oh, okay. So I mean, if you work with a nurse in a nursing home, that is like your biggest bet right there. Hey, like ask that nurse all those questions, Angie. Angie, can I call you Ange? Can I call you Ange? Can I call you Ange? I don't want to be disrespectful, but I feel like Ange is what I should call you. You got a nurse at your disposal, so utilize them, right? Most nurses I know drink a lot. Yeah. Let me tell you something right now. There's been plenty of times when I work nights. First thing we get out, we're going to go to like Snooze, or we're going to go to like somewhere where there's breakfast, and they're just like, yo, I need a drink. And let me tell you, look, nurses, women, hey, something going on. Y'all can throw them back. I don't drink like that. I don't really drink at all, to be honest. I did a lot of my drinking in my youth, and now I'm old. But man, they be throwing them back. You ain't lying. So I know the community college is cheaper, but just wondering about taking all the steps, but not getting into a program. If you decide to go to a community college, that's okay. I've seen people literally go, like, I got my prerequisites done at a community college, and then I went into a nursing program at a university. For community college is cheaper depending on where you are. And then maybe that's the route that you want to go. Some people go and become an LVN or LPN, and that's where they want to stay. And that's okay. If that's what you love and that's where you want to be, stay there. Who cares, right? So it all just depends. If you want to take the cheaper route, I would think the community college, it's a lot shorter. If I could go back and do it all over again, that's what I would have did. I would have got my ADN at a community college, and I would have got into the workforce working as a nurse. And then I would have went online to a BSN program and just taken all the classes, because the ADN NCLEX, or the ADN and the BSN take the same NCLEX. You know what I mean? So it would have worked out better for me that way. But I did it a different route, and it still worked out fine. But I would have gotten into the field. Oh my God, I would have gotten into the nursing field probably maybe like 4 or 5 years prior. So. I'm really learning a lot being in nursing school. I hope so. So the biggest thing about learning is that you want to retain it. You want to retain as much as possible. Try not to data dump every time you leave a semester, even though I know we all need that mental break. What kind of nurse are you? I'm an OR nurse right now. Who's at Tamia. Kind of makes you look at the other schools, but they're so expensive. Yep. There's they have a bunch of online schools now. I really preach people looking into Western Governors University, because it's an online school. But it's kind of a hybrid if you do the RN, but if you go for a master's degree program, it can be all online. School nurses don't make much. That's true. They really don't. They just do it for the love of, taking care of kids. And I give anybody their props for want to take care of babies. Am I a BSN? Yes, I have my BSN. You can't see it, but I promise you that's what it says. But then again, if I had an ADN, I'll be okay with telling you that too. Hashtag not a fake nurse. All right. Oh yeah, Ange, you like that? I got you. I'm calling you Big Ange. Ange. Woo. ER nurses are the worst. They stumble out of Mexican restaurants here almost every morning. Facts. I did my entire nursing through a community college. Facts. Community colleges is great. Also, if you become a PCA, your hospital may help you. Yep, they may help you with your schooling, especially if you work there. They have a lot of packages that are like that. Thanks, you guys. You're very welcome. Well, I guess I ain't doing all the help. I'm telling you all the answers. Boutique. Doing it online is essay, or you mean easy? Because I can tell you right now, when I did nursing school online, that shit was not easy. I can guarantee you. It was not easy at all. Because I didn't have direct access to my professors. Anytime I asked them a question, I quote, "You are a self-learner." If I was a self-learner, I would have got my degree off YouTube. I wouldn't be paying you tuition. You see what I'm saying? So what definitely wasn't easy. It definitely was not easy. Yes, and also they have a student. Oh yeah, you could be a student nurse tech. Yep. Jobs where you can get paid as a nurse extern. LOL. I want to become a nurse, but I don't know how to start since I will be getting my BSW soon. Is that a bachelor's in social work? Didn't we talk about this? Have we talked about this before, Tamia? I can't remember. I was looking into WGU also. Yep, I'm looking into them for my master's degree right now. You need to get offline. That baby is crying. Nah, he good. He Gucci out there. I ain't worried about him. He always crying about something. He's just like, oh my God, I'm 15 months, man. No, I'm just playing. He's good. He's good in there. Yes, that's a bachelor's in social work. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think we talked about you can find if you get your bachelor's degree in social work, you can actually find a direct entry master's degree or master's program in nursing. So that's what one of my friends did. She got her bachelor's degree. It was in biology, and then she found a direct entry master's degree program, and she's the one who failed her NCLEX 7 times, and I coached her with the program that I created. Essentially, the coaching program is going into the 7-day NCLEX course program. And When she passed her NCLEX, I kid you not, it was like Friday a year ago. So whatever day Friday was. And then this past May, she got her master's degree. So she got her master's degree in nurse leadership. Once again, nobody will ever ask you if you pass nobody ever ask you how many times you took your NCLEX. Thank you so much. I will check into that. Yeah, for sure. Check into that. As soon as you get your bachelor's, just go ahead and turn around and be like, hey, look, I need this nursing. You're going to go through the same thing that everybody else goes through for nursing. You have to get your NCLEX. You have to pass it. You have to have an RN in order for you to continue to go to that master's route. All right. Hey, legit though, 4 minutes. 4 minutes and I'm getting off. There's 12 of you guys in here. So hit me with those questions. Hit me with those questions. Hey, we're at 2.8 likes right now. Let's get to 3K. Let's get to 3K. Make me happy. Make me happy. Let's get to 3K. But I appreciate everybody showing up. I appreciate all your questions. I really do enjoy this. I really do enjoy talking to you guys and essentially giving you guys whatever you guys need in regards to questions. And of course, if I can't answer it, like Nurse Nellie's up in here, like doing her thing. Like essentially she's kind of like my TA. Like she's just like, she's like the assistant, but like she knows way more than me. She knows way more than me. She's actually smarter than me. So I'm just letting y'all know that right now. I want to start out as an ER nurse, but eventually transition to CRNA. My opinion. So if you want to be a CRNA, go to the ICU. I'm not saying anything about the ER, but if you want to do CRNA, go to the ICU. The reason being is because CRNA programs want to see the critical. Biggest thing is the drip management. That's the biggest thing. Like you want to have ICU experience. You don't want to have ER. And this isn't shitting on the ER because shout out to all my ER nurses out there. But the ER is not doing drip management in regards to, 8 drips that are going on. Like they're not dropping all these pressors. Like, they're not giving Leo. They're not giving Levophed. They're not giving, vasopressin. They're not doing Versed. They're not doing propofol. They're not doing Precedex. They're not doing them all at the same time. You see what I'm saying? Because remember, with the ER, life, limb, eyesight, stabilize them, you need to get them somewhere else so they can make room for somebody else. Okay? So my suggestion is ICU, any ICU. But the ICU, if you decide you want to go ICU, the one that I've always heard, which I never got to, but the one I always heard is the cardiovascular ICU. You want to get to a CV ICU. So that's where you want to go. Any other questions? I appreciate it. 3.8. Yo, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, can we get to 4? Can we get to 4,000 in the next 2 minutes? Yo, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Like I said, I appreciate everybody coming, everybody asking their questions. If you know anybody in the position of starting nursing school and don't know where to start for NCLEX, like I said, 7-day NCLEX course is in the pre-launch phase right now. I'm uploading videos periodically, the lessons, essentially everything that you're going to need to know with NCLEX. We're going to be super content heavy. NCLEX style questions are going to be coming as well. So if that's where you are in your position and where you are right now in regards to nursing school or starting nursing school or anything like that, that one is definitely for you. And if it's not for you, share it with somebody. It's there. So I wanted to get into ICU, but I got med-surg. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with going to med-surg. Med-surg is a stepping stone. There's nothing wrong with that. Med-surg is medical surgical. So, you can get up to like 4 patients that are there. And it really does help. It really does give you time to understand the nursing process. Your time management, your medication management, all that good stuff. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going to med-surg. However, if you don't want to go to med-surg, you don't have to. Remember that. Yes, boy, I had patients on Precedex, fentanyl, Versed. Look, I know. I started in med-surg for 3 years, went to ICU, having basic nurse. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I went straight to the ICU because I knew I didn't want to go to med-surg. That's just me, though. So, but all right, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, I know I've said this a lot, but I appreciate you guys for stopping by. Your boy is about to run. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you guys know where to find me. Make sure you guys follow me on all the social media platforms. If anybody that you know, check out the 7-day NCLEX course. Link is in my bio. But until then, I will see you guys on Wednesday, and I hope you guys have a fabulous Monday. Talk to you later. Bye.